Today we want to talk about different types of prescriptive process models. There are various types of process models which a software engineer may use at different times in a given project and even throughout their career. A prescriptive process model strives to create structure and order in software development. They tend to occur sequentially with defined guidelines. This makes them good for new software projects. However, they may not be the most effective for changing an existing system. Let's look at several different types of prescriptive process models. The first is the Waterfall Method. This method, sometimes called the classic life cycle, is one of the best known prescriptive process models. You start up with communication, and each step moves you forward and down through different stages like a waterfall, all the way to deployment. In communication, you have things like project initiation and requirements gathering. In planning, you have the process of estimating, scheduling, and the initialization of tracking, and on and on. Once you're in a step, all work in that step must be done, and you cannot move into the next step until that current step is complete. Likewise, you cannot revert back to a previous step, as the goal is forward progress. Rarely does a real-world project move forward in such a sequential process, however. More often, items and issues are uncovered, and you should be able to go back to a previous step to work on it where that makes the most sense. Another issue is, since you can't move to the next step until the current process is finished, you might have people and resources that are waiting on others to finish. This is often referred to as being in a blocked state. The V model has a tendency to move items forward, but you can go back to previous steps because rarely can you move forward in a purely sequential pattern without uncovering changes that need to occur. Parallel models allow you to break a project up into small independent chunks and assign each chunk to a different team. However, each team works in lockstep with the other teams, so they're always on the same stage as the others. This can also lead to a blocking situation if one or more teams is falling behind. Incremental models have some similarities to both the sequential and the parallel methods. Different groups will start at different times and progress at their own pace through each of the different stages of the software as it's being developed. Different parts of a project will be completed at different times with this. So, if the final project cannot be completed, still part of it can be, and that part will be fully functional. This works best in larger projects. Finally, we have evolutionary models, like the spiral method, which work on continual improvements to an existing piece of software. With each iteration, they move through all those different steps of the process model. As they go through each complete iteration, they immediately improve upon the previous iteration, getting closer and closer to a completed final project that the customer wants. This allows for changes to come in as a project is being developed, as rarely will you have all the requirements up front, especially for large projects. You will often find this model being used in different types of agile environments, which we're going to discuss more about in the future.